Hey everyone, it is Kai, and although we had a crazy Tuesday already with the announcement of all the Overdress stuff, the Tuesday stream also provided a bit more information on what we can expect, and also the boring stuff such as the now probably not as interesting clan selection cards. But we gotta start off the boring stuff. Granblue did get some stuff, so let's start with that first before we progress onto the interesting Overdress things. Now, first we have Damien the Ghosty. These again would have been revealed in Card of Day, but we will just take a look at them as well. Damien the Ghosty, when placed from hand on the Vanguard or Regard Circle, you may search for your deck for up to one card with Ghosty in its card name and put it into your drop zone and shuffle your deck. So pretty simple. Second effect is at the end of the battle that it attacked, if you have a Vanguard with Ghosty in its card name, retire this unit, and if you did not countercharge from the ability of Damien the Ghosty this turn, countercharge 1. So simple, nice extra countercharge. Countercharge is always nice, right? 2, we have Jesse the Ghosty, drop zone, retire 2 Regards not named Jesse the Ghosty, and call this card to the Regard Circle. This ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once per turn. And then auto on the Regard Circle, when it attacks, this unit gets power plus 5,000 into the end of turn, and at the end of that battle, until the end of that battle, sorry, and then at the end of that battle, you may retire this unit, and if you do not countercharge from the ability of Jesse the Ghosty, this turn you may countercharge 1. So lots of countercharges going on, lots of hard once per turn countercharges, and you combo that with like a Cutlass, then you have a lot of countercharge going for this, for Granblue and Standard. And then lastly, the boss unit, we have Ghosty Leader Beatrice. So Vanguard Circle and Regard Circle, when placed, cost Soul Blast 1 and call a card not named Ghosty Leader Beatrice from your drop zone to your Regard Circle. So a free call in Standard, pretty decent. And then Vanguard Circle continues all your units with Ghosty in their card names on your Regard Circle or Guardian Circle get Intercept and power plus 5,000, shield plus 5,000 as well. So all your Ghosties get fat and get power and shield. And then lastly, we have when your Regard is retired by a card's ability during your turn, you may cost Counterblast 1 and call a card with Ghosty in its card name and grade less than the grade of the retired unit from your drop zone to Regard Circle. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm wondering is there any cards that force retires other than Night Rose? Because this has to be on the Vanguard Circle, right? So I guess things like Skull Dragon works, and then once the Skull Dragon pops, you get the Ghost Ship, right? So once those two pop, you get extra attacks in, and that kind of refunds that counterblast that you get for this Beatrice unit, which I guess is pretty good. You get even more multi-attacks going on. You don't have to play Night Rose now, so yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing though, this first effect is actually insane in Premium. It gives Granblue an easy option to just be able to create Janelle Griffins, right? You retire this, I think with Negro Lily, is it? And then you may just, you tie something with Negro Lily, call this, and then Soul Blast get a Cannoneer, and boom, you're set. So pretty insane card in Premium. That's probably what we're looking forward to with these clan section cards now, because Overdress is coming. And yeah, overall, I think it's a good standard card overall as well. So good stuff. Now let's move on to some interesting stuff. So firstly, we have the name of this new card. This is the Spiritual King of Determination, Olbaria. So this is like the Stranger card. So not really like a Cray Elemental or anything like that. This is basically used for a lot of their promotional materials. And I guess the one thing I want to add is that the extra effect on this is that it gives another card plus 100 million. So if you trigger it, you give basically 2 units of 100 million. Now, I think this is included in all the decks. So if you don't have a trigger that you can play with, this is in the start deck. So pretty just a generic card, but basically you're going to be playing better triggers. Although this is already pretty good, right? Better super triggers, right? Next we have is some units that they've shown us. We have Diabolos Violence Bruce from the Dark States. This guy looks pretty cool. He's like a combination of Spike Brothers with I guess the Garness of the Dark Irregular guys, where they really want to be Gar. And yeah, so looks kind of cool, to be honest. Nirvana, Chakra Abathi, Divine Dragon Nirvana. So another really cool dragon for Dragon Empire. And then we've got Apex Creator Bastion. This is for Apex Keta Sanctuary. And it just looks like a standard knight, dude. So yeah, I guess it's interesting because now Keta Sanctuary is kind of split between the plebs and the rich people. So it looks like this is like one of those rich guys. He's like the Apex creator. Next we have is Sylvanhorn Beast King Magnolia. So people have been saying that it looks like a lot like Managana. So I guess that's from Stoichea. And then lastly we have Aurora Battle Princess Seraph White, and this is from Brandgate. So look at these arms, man. Look at this Arresta. All right, Arresta's right there. So pretty cool. These units are looking really nice, and they're new, right? They're new, so it's not just pandering on nostalgia. Although there might be a bit of nostalgia. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, right? Next we have is the new ace units for our main character, Yu Kondo. Look at him. He's, I don't know. His eyes, look how split they are. He's like the kid of Riviera or something. Right? His ace unit is Trickster. I assume this is like the starting Vanguard, and he kind of evolves into this guy, which is like I guess like since everyone's lost like the gift of or the blessings of Cray, right? Everyone had to evolve their own way, and this kind of means that they had to get more technologically advanced. So everyone's got mecha units, everyone's got nice suits. So because they don't get free power anymore, you know. So this is how Dragon Empires. It's kind of interesting. Like already from the lore, we see a lot of the clans or the nations themselves now have like two dichotomies, right? So you have the Kidda Sanctuary. They have the guys living in the Skyland, and the people living in the Plebland. You got Dragon Empire, which looks like it's got these really advanced units now, but then they have the old like Dragon Empire Japanese theme going, and then you've got the Dark States, which is, you know, they became better. They prospered because of Gear Chronicles saving or whatever. But that means you also have like still that same old Dark States, the new Dark States kind of thing. Stoic Chair already has two things. They've got like the Megalonica crew versus the Neo Nectar guys, the Zoo crew, and then Brandgate. You've got just the guys who don't care about bad people, and then you've got the people who care about bad people and the bad people themselves. Because Nova Grappler doesn't really care. Dimension Police, they have the good and the bad guys, and Link Joker, they have the good and the bad guys, and they're all stuck together in Antarctica and one other little place. So I think things will go on. I mean, we've seen some of the card already. It's pretty insane. We've got the Arrestas. You know, let's go back to this. We've got these battle princesses, which are like, oh, cool, yeah, you know, Arrestas, right? And then you've got the real Link Jokerish looking guys that seem to be, you know, the main business, right? So everything's already got these new dichotomies, and it's interesting because that means, although we've compressed all our clans together into just 5 and just called them nations now, each nation will have different playstyles as well, right? So initially they'll release just one playstyle for each nation, but then soon we'll get the control cargo, then the multi-attack Dragon Empire, I guess, and then you've got the combo one. So there's going to be multiple playstyles, I would assume, or just in one nation, and you would just pick the kind of playstyle you like, right? So although clan identity kind of has, you know, gone away because there's no clans anymore, you still have the playstyle that is more important, and you also got just the overall nation that you really like. So at least you have some sort of identity. And if you really like that identity, you can really push that in the premium formats. So moving on, we have the new nation of the Lyrical Monastery, which is just the Bermuda Triangles. As you can see, Bermuda Triangles are being carried, is living on a whale. This is basically you. This is basically every single good Bermuda player. They basically carry Vanguard, and now they're represented in the game. So everyone should worship these guys. Look at this. This is a flying whale. It's going to fly over your Dragon Empire, and there's nothing you can do because they're the ones that paid the most money in keeping the game alive, right? So, so this is the 6th nation. This is only Bermuda Triangle, and although they said like there's going to be collab sets and stuff, no, these don't count. They don't count. So yeah, it looks like Bermuda's by themselves, but since they're flying around on a whale, right, and they're only a solo clan, maybe the Bermuda Triangle cards can be used for every single clan, right? So, I mean, every single nation. I have to really change the terminology, right? No more clans, we're talking about nations now. Moving on, we have a question regarding the ride deck. So, is the ride deck allowed in V Premium and Premium? No, the ride deck is only allowed in standard format, because, you know, if you had the ride deck in Premium, it'd be pretty pretty broken. Do we use separate sleeves for the main deck and ride deck, or do we use the same sleeves? The sleeves for the main deck and ride deck must be different. There is no issue even if the sleeves are different within the ride deck. For cards that are placed within the ride deck, what happens if they have to place it in other zones? If you have to place it in the main deck, said card will be placed back to the ride deck instead. For other zones, the card will be placed in the zone indicated. So that basically solves the sleeve problem. That also means that probably at the beginning of a tournament, you have to select what cards are going to go into your ride deck. You won't be able to change every single game depending on the matchup. And then next slide is, does the number of cards in the ride deck count towards the total deck count? Yes, it does. The total number of cards in the main deck and the ride deck must be 50, so that means you're playing with a 46 card deck. Must the copies of the same card in the main deck and ride deck be up to 4? Yes, there must only be 4 copies of the same card in total. If 1 copy is placed in the ride deck, you'll only be able to have 3 copies in the main deck. So pretty standard. Can I put only grade 2 cards in my ride deck? No, you cannot. Please prepare only one piece of each grade 0, 1, 2, and 3. So you'll be putting your first Vanguard, I think. That's what they showed on stream, and then the 1, 2, and 3 that you really want to ride. So no deviation there. Unfortunate. And then the last slide we have is Cardfight Vanguard Overdress new rules. Use different sleeves from the main and ride deck. We know about that. Quick shield can no longer be used. The player going second will draw a card by the ability of the starting Vanguard. So we saw on stream, all right? The person going first, they ride, that's it. The person going second rides and then draws a card. So it's like the current V1, except both players, the only player that gets to draw is the second player, and they don't even get a quick shield. Imaginary Gift can no longer be used. Grade 3 units will gain a new ability instead of Imaginary Gift. That is probably the Persona Ride icon that we saw in the older video that I showed. And then cards of D icons can be played in clan decks that correspond to their nation. So this is basically saying in Premium, you can Dragon Empire cards can be used in Kagyu, Narukami, etc., etc. The only question is what happens with Stoicheia, because they are 2 clans. I mean, they're 2 nations in one. So does it mean all Stoicheia cards can be used in both Great Nature and like a Granblue deck? Or what happens with like Bermuda Triangle, right? They have their own thing going on, so what about that? So that's something that they'll probably answer in the future, but this is basically saying that a lot of the all of the new stuff works with the new old stuff, so Premium is kind of safe. And that is kind of interesting for me, like when I think about it. This actually makes access into Premium a lot more easier, right? I start off with Dragon Empire, or I start off with Keta Sanctuary, and I go, the decks themselves are only 333 yen in Japan, which is targeting that kid crowd, you know? Kids don't get much pocket money, and that's why Duel Masters and all that was very successful. But now Vanguard is so affordable, anyone can get into the game. And I think we did some quick research on those start decks. Apparently come with 4 of every single card. So that is infinite value. That is really, really good value. But again, so kids can get into the game really easy. But then once you've gotten your Dragon Empire cards, your Killer Sanctuary cards, or whatever nation you like, you could even get all 5. Then you suddenly go, I want to play more Vanguard. I have space to play more Vanguard because I've got basically X clans worth of cards. I just need it. If I'm a Brant Gate player, right, I really want to play a Dimension Police. So now I have a set of starting set of these cards, and then I just buy a few more of the Link Joker. So accessibility there is very, very simple, because again, immediately buying one nation means you have access to every single clan from like Premium going forward. So that is very good. Also, the cards being so cheap gives me the idea that they're probably gonna want to push out. Well, I don't know much about V Premium, but in my opinion, they probably want to stop supporting it after a year or so, and just having all this really easy entry level stuff for people means that people can kind of get into the new standard very, very quickly and easy. And then one thing that was mentioned in the beginning as well was that Kidani did have a little speech going on, and he said that they really don't want to do something called Stan Ochi, which is a Japanese term for like dropping standard. And he used that. That's basically used in terminology for just a rotation, like an MTG, where they drop cards or they drop sets in standard. But when they did the reboot for Cardfight Vanguard, that's the term that they also used. So it sounds kind of weird. They say they don't want to do another rotational reboot, but the thing is that he also said that they don't want to do something that they did just like again, right? So they don't want to. So he's specifically referring to the reboot. Now, what is interesting is that Overdress combining, compressing everything into these 5 nations really sets up a standard format that is similar to other card games in terms of rotation. So in terms of hard reboot, they really never want to do it again. They're gonna do their best to never have to reboot the game, because it's just, rebooting the game is pretty terrible. And I think the fact that the entry level for these decks as well to get into the new format is so low is because they're really, on one hand, very sorry they have to reboot the game. So they really want to be able to just let everyone be able to access the new standard. They really never want to be able, they just don't want to reboot anymore, right? Because it's bad. But in terms of rotation, that is kind of up in the air still. They can now easily rotate sets, because if you watch Solemn's video where he gives you all those different ideas on how to rotate cards, that's why rotation was so hard in the first place. But now, since every nation is supported, and there's only 5 nations, I mean 6 nations, right? And they basically only support 5 every time, right? So this is only 5 nations. Every booster pack supports that stuff, supports all of them. And then if you really wanted to drop sets for like the earlier sets, then it's very, very easy to drop. They just say set 1 to 5 can't be used, or this is a new block, or this is a new arc. Then the old stuff you can't use, but again, you already have support, you already have a base of cards that you can use. So that is maybe how rotation is going to go forward. But in terms of like the reboot, again, they've just said they never really want to do it again. Then they themselves know it's bad. And yeah, that's basically how they're going to progress moving forward. And Vanguard 2.0, how they've really changed how all the nations work and that entire platform is just, it's perfect for what they want to do going forward. And who knows, right? Since they've compressed all the clans down to 6, with one being like a kind of fun clan of Bermuda Triangle, they could even introduce more nations, right? They could just introduce more nations, like 1 more nation. What's that going to do? It's just extra support, right? So when we look at like the booster packs, I think, well, they have the new site up now, which is pretty cool. English Twitter doing an absolute amazing job today. Thanks English Twitter, you guys do well. But yeah, they've got all the new things like Keter Sanctuary, Dragon Empire, Brandgate. They've got the nice pictures going on now, and this is the major changes that we've discussed before. But the thing is that here they've said there's 120 types of new series cards. So if you divide that by 5, there's just 24 new cards for each clan. I mean each nation. That's quite a lot of cards. Even if you add like another nation, divided by 6, that's 20 cards. That's quite a lot of support for each booster pack. So overall, that is kind of it. By the way, in Japan, they've also announced collaboration sets, which was the question marks that they had in the beginning streams. And they are, first one is Token Granblue with Overdress. Now this has been a while. I'm surprised that they still can collab with Token Granblue, and I'm still surprised Token Granblue is still alive. So yeah, these will get their own thing. The second one is that Monster Strike thing that they've been talking, well, that they announced like a while back, but they're finally doing it, and they're doing it with Overdress, so congrats. And then this is basically the new thing. So everything's done except they filled in the blanks. We've got the Token Granblue coming in May 22nd. We've got in July, we've got Monster Strike, and then the Lyrical Monastery is in August for Japan, of course. Now, it'll be interesting to see if they bring Token Granblue into English, because that actually has a premium component to it as well. But again, this is insane. Look at this. Start decks in March and April. Super cheap to get into as well. If they do have 4 every single card, that is amazing. You've got the booster pack coming. Then you've got the another influx of collab like players in like May and in July. So I think it's excellent. You got a weird festival collection here. I don't know what's going on there. And then the second booster pack in June. So there's at least 2 months difference. Not like 1 month, which is actually really, really great too. And then August is like what the Lyrical set. So yeah, we have space between booster packs now in order to actually play our cards and not feel bad when the next set comes, right? Which is another gripe that we've had in the last few months regarding these. So overall, it has been an excellent stream. Even the ghosty cards were good. You might not care about them, but in premium they're still quite relevant. And then this new Overdress stuff that they announced has been top notch. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're happy about Overdress coming. Let me know if you want to get into premium more now. Just tell me in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Bye.